A segment from CNN from 9:02 this morning has the FDA commissioner, part of Trump's task force, on here. The point of today's video is not so much of just the fake media, but a narrative that they're trying to drive. This commissioner's on there talking at every single point. If you pay attention to what he's saying, he's just talking about the well-being and the general population of the American people. That's the focus, that's the drive, that's why he's on there. He wants people to take the coronavirus seriously. And everything that he says evolves around the general population. That's really all he focuses on. This whole Trump narrative of trying to paint Trump bad. Once again, this isn't about politics, but it's paying attention to what she's doing. If CNN was so concerned about the general population, or even in this interview itself, she would leave the topic of just Trump. But that's all she stays on. She keeps hounding because she wants him to play into the narrative by saying, hey, Trump's figures were wrong. We've all seen it. CNN's not going to play the rest of the interview. All they're going to put is FDA commissioner does not back Trump up, Trump is a liar, and that's it. His job is to literally protect the general population and try to get it out to as many people as possible to protect themselves. That's literally why he's on there. She wants him to feed into a narrative. He wants to get his message out of what he's trying to do when it comes to the general population. Let's go and take a look.
I want to bring in our guest, a member of the President's Coronavirus Task Force, FDA Commissioner Dr. Stephen Hahn. Dr. Hahn, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I want to start with something the President said last night I want you to listen to.
Now we have tested almost 40 million people. By so doing, we show cases, 99% of which are totally harmless.
Dr., 99% of coronavirus cases are, quote, completely harmless. No health expert that we have found can back that up. Can you?
So we know that cases are surging in the country. We've all seen the graphs associated with that. And it's just too early, and I'm not going to speculate on what the causation is there. What I can tell you is the way out of this, Dana, the way out of this for all Americans is to follow the CDC and the White House Task Force guidelines, social distance, wear a mask if you find yourself in a situation where you can't social distance, good hand hygiene, all the things that I would tell my patients. And if you're near someone who's vulnerable and you think you've been exposed, please take care and avoid exposing that person who's vulnerable.
Well, Dr. Hahn, I think it's really important to stick to the question about the 99% that the president threw out there. I can tell you it's not true, and that's obviously not my opinion. It is fact based on the CDC estimates. Only about a third of coronavirus cases are asymptomatic. The WHO says, the World Health Organization says about 20% of people diagnosed with coronavirus are sick enough to need oxygen or hospital care. And this is really important.
Once again, this is about the narrative and the lie that they're feeding, or even the lack of information that they're sharing. Their job is to report the news to everybody, whether they like it or not, and that's not the case. And the narrative is painting Trump bad, showing protesters out there being the ones more likely to spread this disease across the country. That doesn't fit their narrative, because that's no longer saying Trump is bad. That is saying that protesters and what they're doing are making the situation worse. So she just sticks to this Trump thing because she wants him to say something that they can use to continue the narrative.